So we are doing MCQs of O levels accounting and IGCSE and the paper we are doing is, if I just look at the paper, this is your teacher Haris, but May, June 23-11 is going to be our paper. And the first MCQs is, why does the accountant of a business analyze its financial statement? So the answer is going to be C, to provide information for the manager so that they can go for the decision making. They can take decisions regarding the business, right? And they can be able to understand the performance of the business, or they'll be able to probe into the matter that how to manage the business for the future. Padma started a business on 1st April, second MCQs, with 30,000 of her own money. This is the capital at the start. On 31st March 2023, her assets and liabilities were as shown. So assets and liabilities at the end are given. Machinery 38,000, other assets 15,000, and long-term loan, which is the liability, will be subtracted. So the capital at the end is going to be V, answer 36,500. But sometimes in the question, this is rather very easy. Sometimes you have been asked to find profit for the year. So how you will find profit for the year? You will find closing capital first, or capital at the end, which is 36,500. And then you will add drawings if given in the question, and you will subtract opening capital, which is given 30,000. And if additional capital is given, that will also be subtracted. So this is how you will find the profit for the year. Ending capital, the capital at the end, add drawings, less capital at the beginning. A trader credited the income statement and debited his capital account. What does this double entry record? This is a very, very important MCQs which is continuously been coming in the paper, and students are not able to handle it. So a trader credited the income statement and debited his capital account. Let's do it first. So the entry is going to be that capital will be credited and profit and statement of profit and loss is going to be credited, or income statement is going to be credited. So capital debit and income statement credit. So this entry is basically transferring the loss and or profit for the year to the capital account. So if there is profit, it means that income is more than expense. If income is more than expense, then it means that income statement has a credit balance. And when we are going to transfer profit into capital, the entry will be income statement debit and capital credit. Why, sir? Because income statement will be transferred, profit from the income statement will be transferred to capital account. So we will debit income statement to cancel the effect, and capital will be credited because profit will increase capital, and increase in capital is going to be credit. So income statement debit and capital credit is basically because of the profit for the year, and capital debit and income statement credit is because of the loss for the year, because loss is transferred to capital account. Because of that, capital is debited. It means that there is a decrease in capital. So capital is going to decrease. So the entry is capital debit and income statement credit. This is because of the loss for the year. So you have to understand this very carefully, that how it will move and how we are going to record this transaction. So next thing. Okay, so the third MCQs, let's move to that, or fourth MCQs. Sorry, that is going to be that TED, a manufacturer, purchased a machine on credit. How did TED record this? So we have purchased machine on credit. Very simple question. Machinery will be debited and T Limited is going to be credited. Okay, TED, a manufacturer, purchased a machine on credit from T Limited. How will TED record this? तो TED कैसे रिकॉर्ड करेगा? TED ने मशीन खरीदी है T Limited से. So machinery is an asset, increase in asset debited, and T Limited is a liability. So increase in liability credit because he is our trade payable. Purchases won't come. Purchases come only when there is going to be goods purchased. The following account appeared in the books of Abdul. Hanif account. We are Abdul and we are preparing Hanif account, and balance brought down is on the credit side. So it means that Hanif is our trade payable. So we have purchased goods from him on January 4, then we have returned goods of 100, and then we have paid him amount of the balance due on January 1 after discount of 8. All right, we have received a discount of 8. and the balance carried on is also given. Which statement is correct? Ji Abdullah, बताइएगा.
जी sir.
Which is the correct answer? On 1st January, Abdul owed Hanif 400. On 4th January, Hanif purchased goods 250 from Abdul.
Sir, first one is correct.
First one is correct.
Yes sir.
Yes, that's right. Because it means that Abdul has to pay Hanif on 1st January an amount of 400. Because Hanif is our trade payable and we are Abdul. So we have to pay Hanif 400. That is why it is written on the credit side, and that's why he is our trade payable. So A is going to be the right answer. Okay, C will not come because 8 is not trade discount. Or 31st January, Hanif owed Abdul is wrong. Abdul owed Hanif is the right one. Which item are shown on a statement of account? Bank charges, credit notes, debit notes, or trade discount. So statement of account, what is statement of account? It is record of all the transactions relating to a particular customer. Okay, informing him about all the transactions for a particular month and also showing the balance due by him at the end of the month. So it includes always sales return. And when you are going to go for a sales return, always remember that sales return will, which document will be used for sales return? Credit notes. So B is going to be the answer. Which item are shown on a statement of account and it is sent by the supplier to the customer, showing him the balance due by him. So credit notes is going to be the answer because of the sales return. A trader issues an invoice for goods sold on credit. The full price of the goods is 2,500. The trader allows a trade discount of 15% and offers a cash discount of 4% for prompt payment. Which amount is recorded in the sale journal? So I want to make you understand very important thing, that trade discount will not come in the books of account. Number one. Number two, trade discount will be subtracted from the total amount and the resultant amount will be written in the sale journal. Cash discount won't come. Why, sir? Because cash discount is given at the time of payment. And in sales journal, we record when the goods are sold on credit, we record the names of the people to whom the goods are sold on credit, their amount and total. So what is the answer? 2,500 into 15%, which is the trade discount, and I will subtract the trade discount, I will get the answer without subtracting 4% cash discount. So what is the answer? Yes, Ahmed?
Sir, C है 2125.
2125 is going to be the answer. That's right. Number 8. A trader prepared a trial balance at 31st December. Which statement about this trial balance is correct? It shows a summary of the financial position at 31st December. It shows the ledger account balances at 31st December. It shows the profit for the year ended 31st December. Or it shows the transaction for the year. So the answer is going to be, it shows the ledger account balances at 31st December. Because summary of the financial position will be the statement of financial position. It shows the profit is the income statement and transaction is used to be recorded in the journal. So that will also be, will not be the answer. Yes, that would be more appropriate if you are giving me the answer through messages. So the answer is going to be, it shows the ledger account balance in 31st December. That is, B is going to be the answer. Trial balance generally shows what it shows. Trial balance shows the arithmetic accuracy of the ledger accounts. It shows that total debits are always equal to total credits. So let's move forward. MCQ number 9. After completing the trial balance, it was found that an amount of 4,000 for motor vehicle repairs had been entered in the motor vehicle account. Which type of error is this? You can answer in the message box. That would be more appropriate for me. So motor vehicle repair will be recorded as in the motor vehicle account. So an expense is recorded as an asset. So which type of error? Commission, compensating, omission, or principal? Right answer, Ahmed. It is the principal error. Because principal error states that asset is recorded as an expense or expense is recorded as an asset. At the end of his financial year, Zan opened a suspense account. Why was it necessary to open this account? The suspense account had been omitted from the ledger. If the trial balance totals did not agree, to correct an error of commission, to make sure no errors was made in the ledger. Very answer, the trial balance total did not agree, then we have to go for opening a suspense account. The trial balance totals did not agree. That is the right answer. Okay, next. Jack has opened a suspense account. He has found that rent paid of 250 had been correctly entered in the rent account, but credited to the bank account as 520. Which entries will correct this error? I have so many times I've asked you, requested you that please go for the whole procedure, but you didn't listen to me. And that's why in paper 2 also you find problems in errors. And that's why it is used to come every time in the paper, and it will continue to come even in your A levels. And do continue to do it directly and do the error again and again. You are more than welcome. Rent paid is rent to cash, correct entry. Rent account, but credited to the bank account. So instead that you rent paid 250, you have credited bank account. You have to credit that bank account by 250, but you have credited bank account by 520. So bank has been credited more by 270. The bank will be debited with 270, and suspense account is going to be credited by 270. So A is going to be the answer. That's right. A answer, bank to suspense. Next, Naila provided the following information at 31st August. Debit balance in cash book, uncredited deposits, unpresented checks, interest charge in error by the bank. What was the credit balance on the bank statement at 31st August? Maybe some of the students are not able to understand the 11 MCQs. Sorry, beta, I will not repeat it. I will not repeat it. Because the whole year I have been asking you to pass correct, wrong, and rectify, and you didn't listen to me. So do it now on your own. If you would have done it, you would have understood it very, very easily. So what was the credit balance on the bank statement at 31st August? Debit balance in the cash book, 449. So debit balance in cash book, what we will do, we need to find the credit balance on the bank statement at 31st August. So what you are going to do, it is debit balance, so not presented checks will be added. Uncredited checks is going to be subtracted. And interest charged in error by the bank will also be adjusted. And you will be able to, interest charge means that you have recorded a payment wrongly. You have debited the bank statement wrongly. You have to give it a credit. It means that it will be recorded according to the uncredited checks. So it will also be subtracted. You will get the answer accordingly. I will make you understand. So let me calculate it also, so that I will be very keen to answer that. And 449 plus 175.
सर ये जब डेबिट बैलेंस जब क्रेडिट बैलेंस होता है तो एनसी प्लस होते हैं और एनपी माइनस होते हैं ना.
डेबिट बैलेंस जब होता है कैश बुक का तो एनपी प्लस होते हैं, एनसी माइनस होते हैं. यू आर राइट. नाउ
और फिर जब क्रेडिट
यस यस,
तो जब क्रेडिट हो
वो तो ऑपोजिट हो जाएगा ना, सारी बात. नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन इट टू यू दैट हाउ द इंटरेस्ट चार्ज, व्हाट इज दिस, because that is creating problem. Why it is subtracted? Let me make you understand. Interest charge by bank means, interest charge in error by the bank means that it is a payment which is recorded wrongly in the bank on the debit side with an amount of 10. In order to cancel this interest charge, which is in error, bank needs to give a credit of 10, which is not yet done. Bank has to give a credit. So it is not yet credited. So it has become uncredited deposits or uncredited amount, which is not yet credited in the bank statement. So whatever effect you have done with the uncredited deposits, you will do the same. So it will be subtracted. Yes, same thing. But we will go according to the NP and NC, not because of that reason. The reason you are telling me is not is correct, but it is not valuable regarding the preparation of bank reconciliation statement. We have to understand it through bank reconciliation statement. Which statement about a sale ledger control account is not correct? Is not correct. It assists in the location of errors. It helps debtor fraud. It prevents debts becoming irrecoverable. It provides a quick total of trade receivable. Very, very easy. And the answer is going to be C, right? Because all three things are the objectives of control account: assist in the location of errors, frauds, total trade receivable. It prevents debts becoming irrecoverable is the wrong answer. The following partly completed account appeared in Candy's ledger, purchase ledger control account. The following entries still need to be made in the account. Interest of $15 was charged by credit supplier for overdue payments. Balance owing in the purchase ledger totaling 450 were set off against balance in the sale ledger. These entries are not yet recorded in the PLC. So what will be the closing balance on the purchase ledger control account after these entries are made? Very, very easy. Interest of 15 was charged by credit supplier for overdue payment. So it means that our trade payable will increase more. The entry will be interest debit and trade payable credit. So it will come on the credit side with the interest on overdue account. It will come on the credit side with the interest on overdue account over here with the name interest on overdue account 15. And balance of purchase ledger is set off. It will come on the debit side because set off will come on the debit side of PLCA and credit side of SLCA. So you will total the credit side, you will subtract the debit side, you will get the closing balance, which is B5685. So I'll move forward. A trader expenditure during the year includes the following amounts. Let me rub it up. Redecoration of premises 5,000, insurance of motor vehicle, purchase of machinery. How much should the trader charge to her income statement for the year? Means that what is going to be the expense? Expense is going to be the 7,000. So A is going to be the answer. Why, sir? Because purchase of machinery is a non-current asset. It is a capital expenditure. But redecoration of premises and insurance of motor vehicle is a revenue expenditure. This statement about depreciation is correct. It is a cash fund to replace a non-current asset. No. It is a monetary expense as it involves the outflow of money. No. Depreciation is a non-cash expense. You don't need to pay anything. It is an estimate of the loss in value of a current asset over its expected life. That is true, but that is true for a non-current asset, not for current asset. It is recorded in the nominal ledger and the income statement. That's fine. So D is the answer. The depreciation is recorded in the nominal ledger and recorded in the income statement. So D is going to be the answer for this question. Rashid provided the following balances at 31st December. Machinery at cost, provision for depreciation. Depreciation for the year was calculated at 20% on cost and is included in the balance for the provision. After the balances had been extracted, it was found that machinery repair costing 2,000 had been debited in error to the machinery account. What is the correct balance on the provision for depreciation account of machinery account? Okay, this question has also come many, many times in the past papers with the same amounts, many times. Why? Because it is more technical, so students used to find a little difficult in solving this MCQs. But if we just go through this paper, you will find that the MCQs paper is very easy. If you have a good knowledge of accounting, you will easily make an ace in this paper. Same is the case with AS accounting, because paper 1 difficulty level has gone down a lot in the previous 2 to 3 years. Even last year, it has gone even more down. What you will do, unfortunately, you have recorded a machinery repair, which is an expense, as an asset, as a machinery. It means that for 2,000, you have recorded it as non-current asset. So you have charged depreciation also on that wrongly, which is 20%. So that is going to be 400. You have charged depreciation of 400, which should not have been charged. So the answer is going to be 22,600. The balance of the provision for depreciation account should not have been 23,000. It should have been less by 400, which is 22,600. So B is going to be the answer for this question. This was a little technical one. I accept it, but this has come more often in the past papers continuously. So that's why how I am able to manage this. Next, Ahmed rental income due to from Kumar at tenant is 3,600. At the start of the year, Kumar had prepaid rent of 900. At the end of the year, he owed 2 months rent. How much rent was received from Kumar during the year? Number one thing which is needs to be, you need to give attention on that this is going to be an income account, rental income account. So it's going to be a rent income account. So I'm going to prepare the account as mashallah, all students who are listening me, they used to say me and they used to quote other teachers also that, sir, we used to do it directly by adding and subtracting and we don't prepare a T account. Unfortunately, you found a question, T account was required in your paper. So sometimes, why not to prepare T account when the T account is required in the paper? So why not why not we do practice for that? The prepaid rent at the start is 900. 3,600 rent is going to be the income statement figure because that is the rent for the whole year, or you may say profit and loss account figure, statement of profit, and 3,600. It means that the monthly rent is 3,600 is the annual rent divided by 12. You will get the monthly rent. Why? It is written annual. So it is per annum. 3,600 is the annual rent for 12 months, right? So 1 month rent is going to be 3,600 divided by 12, that is 300. And he said in the question that he owed 2-month rent. So accrued carried down, prepaid brought down, and accrued carried down is going to be 600 over here. And the bank figure I will write over here, which is required in the question. 3,600 minus 1,500. How much will we get? 2,100. So A is the answer. So see, preparation, by preparing the T count, it will become very easy and very understandable, and it will also give us confirmation that we have done it right. Next question is for inventory valuation. So it says that at the end of the financial year, Gina had the following items of clothing in her inventory. 100 t-shirts, cost price per unit, selling price per unit is 30. You have to take the inventory is valued at cost or NRV, whichever is less. 100 into 15, 1,500. 200 dresses, cost price 40, selling price 30. You will take the lesser price, 200 into 30. That is going to be 6,000. 6,000 and 1,500 is going to be 7,500. So what was the value of Gina's inventory? That is 7,500. A is the answer. Which error causes the gross profit to be overstated? Which error causes the gross profit to be overstated? Closing inventory under value. If you will reduce the closing inventory, cost of sale will increase and gross profit will decrease. Opening inventory omitted from the income statement. When opening inventory will not be recorded, cost of sales will decrease and GP will be increased. GP will be overstated. So B is the answer. Purchases recorded before deduction of trade discount and sales invoice omitted from the sales journal. Sales invoice omitted from the sales journal. So sorry, B is not the answer. I'm sorry, because opening inventory omitted from the income statement. So that is not okay. Income statement, that's fine then, because if we are preparing income statement to find the gross profit. So when opening inventory will be omitted, then cost of sale will decrease and the gross profit will be overstated. So B is the correct answer. Next. Sir, why the other C and D are not the answer? They are not saying that it is recorded in the income statement. That's fine. Which group consists of only intangible assets? Intangible assets are those assets which are not untouched. We can't touch them. And they are basically brand names, copyrights, goodwill, trademarks. So what will be the answer? Bank balance, brand name, goodwill, bank balance, trademark, trade receivable, brand name, goodwill, and trademarks. C is the answer. Yes. Brand name, goodwill, and trademarks are going to be our intangible assets. At the end of the financial year, Kareem decided to increase his provision for doubtful debts. How will this affect the income statement and the statement of financial position? Yes. Please give the answer to me. The entry to record increase in provision is statement of profit and loss will be debited, or income statement is going to be debited, and provision for doubtful debt is going to be credited. So it will decrease, it will increase expense and it will decrease current asset. So C is the answer. Increase expense and decrease current asset, because increase in provision will be recorded as an expense and current asset, trade receivable, will be decreased with the increase in provision. What is included in the appropriation account of a partnership? Annual salary to which each partner is entitled? Yes. Drawings made by each partner during the year? No. Closing balance on each partner's capital account? No. The division of residual profit between the partners? Yes. So 1 and 4 is the answer. B is the answer. X and Y are in partnership with capital of 50,000 and 30,000 respectively. The partnership agreement provides that profits are to be shared in proportion to capital invested, means 5:3, 5/8 and 3/8. And each partner is entitled to 10% interest on capital. Profit for the year was 37,000. What was the total amount credited to Y's current account at the end of the year? So Y's current account may, first of all, this is the profit. So let me calculate it because this is little technical. 37,000, you have to subtract interest on capital first, 37,000, interest on capital 50,000 ka 10%, 50,000, 10% of 50,000, 5,000, 10% of 30,000, 3,000. So 8,000 is the interest on capital minus. So
29,000.
29,000 is the profit. And for Y, the profit share is 3 by 8. Sorry, 3 by 8. How much it is? 9,000 into 3 by 8. Because their profit sharing ratio is 5:3. So Y's share is 3 by 8. How much you will get? Please.
Sir, A answer at 10,870.
No. What is the answer of 29,000 into 3 by 8, please?
Sir, A.
7,778.
Sir, 10,875.
7,875 is going to be the 7,875 will be the profit. And then you will add 3,000 interest on capital to get the total amount, that is 10,875. Let me calculate it if you haven't done it correctly, because you put me in doubt. That is wrong. So your answer is going to be wrong. That's why, thank God, I have checked it. So the answer is going to be 13,875, because first you need to go for the share of profit, that is 10,875, plus interest on capital will be credited in his current account, which is 3,000. There will be no drawings. We have to prepare current account. Again, you have done it directly without calculating, without writing. So you will get, every time you will get the wrong answer. Accounting is a numerical subject, and accounting always you have to do by writing it and by solving it. So let's move forward. What is an advantage of being a member of a limited company? Loan capital is easy to obtain. Dividend must be paid to the members. Financial statements are prepared quickly. The company is a separate legal entity. Yes. D is the answer. Yes, right. The company is a separate legal entity. Right? The company is a separate legal entity. Sir, why not B? Dividend must be paid to the member. That's not true. Sometimes you don't have profit and there will be no dividend paid to the members. You will not get any kind of dividend. So D is the answer, because
Sir,
you are not
ordinary
responsible.
shareholders.
Yes, when we talk about shareholders, we always talk about ordinary shareholders. If nothing is mentioned, because preference shareholders are not the members of a limited company. They don't have voting right. They don't have working right. So they are different. So company is a separate legal entity means that company is liable for his own problems, and we are only liable for our shares which we have purchased in the company. So this is also another question 26 which has come in the past papers very often, and I will show you how to calculate it. 13,000 is the profit, minus 6,000 transferred to general reserve, and interim dividend paid will also be subtracted. So the remaining profit available to pay dividend is 4,000. On 31st December, we have decided to use the remaining profit to pay final dividend. But he's not asking that how much profit is available to pay dividend. Examiner is asking that what percentage of final dividend would be ordinary share received. Percentage. So 4 lakh divided by ordinary share capital, which is 50,000 into 100. So you will get the answer, that is 8%. So this is the answer. And this has come so many times in the past papers. This question has also come with the same amount, So 8% is the answer. P Limited maintains a provision for doubtful debt. On 1st April, this account had a balance of 6,200. The provision should have been increased to 7,400 on 31st March, but this adjustment was not made. What was the effect of this error on the retained earnings in the statement of financial position on 31st March? Obviously, retained earnings kya ho jayenge? It will increase by the difference of the amount. So they will overstated by 1,200. Retained earnings will be overstated by 1,200. Why? Because when you increase provision, you have to increase the provision by 1,200, which is not have been increased. So then the income statement, the expense has not been recorded. When the expense is not recorded, profit will be overstated and retained earnings will also be overstated by 1,200. What is included in the income and expenditure account of a tennis club? All amount received and paid? No. All capital and revenue expenditure incurred during the year. The closing balance on the accumulated fund. The profit for the year from club's shop. Yes. Anybody? me see. G, D is the answer. Sir, why बताता हूँ. A is not the answer because all amount received and paid is written in the receipt and payment account. All capital and revenue expenditure incurred during the year, yes, but that is also cash. Either they are cash expenditure or they are accruals. They will come. They will come in the income and expenditure account, but capital expenditure won't come in the income and expenditure account. So because of that reason, that is wrong. Closing balance on the accumulated fund will not come in the income and expenditure account. That is a part of statement of financial position. Profit from club's shop. So that is club trading account, shop trading account. That profit will come in the income and expenditure account with subscription. This then started a manufacturing business, provided the following information: first year of trading, closing inventory of finished goods, closing work in progress, factory overheads, prime cost, cost of production, prime cost 70570 plus factory overheads 15530 minus closing work in progress 1840. That's it. You will get the answer. Closing inventory of finished goods won't come because that is a part of, that will come in the income statement. That is not a part of cost of production. That is not a part of manufacturing income. It won't come. Hassan's capital decreased by 200 over the year, even though he made a profit of 7,000. इसका आंसर A है, वो बाद में डिस्कस करता हूँ. पहले इसको देखेंगे 31 को. A trader provide the following information: credit sales 36,000, cash sales 10% of total sales, net profit margin 30%. How much is the net profit? So let's do it. Cash sales 10% of the total sales. It means that the credit sales, which is 36,000, that is 90% of total sales. Obviously, if 10% are going to be the cash sales, then credit sales is going to be 90%. So total sales will be 36,000 divided by 0.9, right? So how much it will come? That is going to be 40,000. So sales net profit margin is 30%. You will multiply 40,000 with 30%, 12,000 is the answer. So D is the answer, which is the profit for the year. The table shows the gross margin and profit margin for 4 businesses. Which business control its overhead most efficiently? See, which business control its overheads more efficiently? So that is the business, which one? Even you can do the example also. You will take 100 as sales and then you will calculate it. You will get the answer. That's not a big deal. It's better that you will go for a calculation that will help you. Take an example, take an optimistic example, then go for the calculation. So it shows that you are controlling, D is the answer, because it shows that you are controlling your expenses more properly. That's why we are going to go for the, again, I'm telling you that you can go for an example also to make it look very easy. Take 100 sales and then calculate it one by one. Take amount of 100 sales. 40% of the amount is GP, 40, and 17% is the amount, is the profit, 17. So 40 minus 17 will be the expenses. So this is how you will calculate it. So I don't think so that D is going to be the answer. You need to calculate it again by focusing it through an example. Take 100 as sales and then calculate it. You will get the right answer. So I believe that A is going to be the right answer rather than D. Ramesh works as a sales manager in a car showroom. He is paid on the basis of number of cars sold. Which accounting ratio will be relevant?